Friday morning. Caden McDonald, Adrian Horton. This is the official, unofficial podcast of the Melbourne Demons. Mate, it's good to be here. Is this the first time we've done a potty in the studio together?
Yeah, 80. Thanks for having me in. First one in the studio, first one in the morning. I'm normally in bed still, so
it's 10:40.
Yeah, this is
time of recording.
It's bright and early, and the commitment to talking Dees, I'll do anything, body on the line, sort of stuff.
Mate, that is outrageous. 10:40 in the morning. It is good to be here on a Friday. Of course, we're here because of draft, and I'm not gonna fake it. This is the least invested I've ever been in a draft personally. A, because I've got two beautiful rat bags at home who are keeping me very busy. B, I've just been flat out trying to run this business, building it ground up with Rob Crawford. So admittedly, I am a little bit stretched in terms of how much knowledge I'm going to provide to this podcast, but that's where I get strategic, Caden, and I go, I'm bringing in the bloke that froths the draft. That is you.
Yeah.
You love it. And
I do.
Do you know what? Before we get stuck into the picks for Melbourne, you did a bit of draft content yourself.
Yeah, I moseyed on down to Marvel yesterday morning for ball magnets and did a bit of a vox pop with the boys. I made a YouTube video with some of the lads as well, 6 of the top 20 lads. Had a big goal kicking challenge with them. I've always been invested in the draft, I think, because at the age where you love footy the most, when I was like 13 and 14, we were getting pick 1s, pick 2s, pick 3s, and that was like the highlight of the Melbourne Footy Club year. So I'd follow it. Like when we were into Scully and Trengove, I frothed that.
Oh, Caden, don't do that.
When we were into Naughtsie.
Caden, what are you doing?
When I just got out of high school and the most pivotal drafts maybe of the entire, the last 50 years, when we nailed, Salem into
I can breathe again.
Track and Brayshaw.
Do you know what I thought you were going to do?
What's it?
No, I thought you were going to say Tumpus.
Oh, well,
no.
I
got really scared.
I had Tumpus on the back of my jumper.
Oh, God.
I loved him. I loved him.
Are you serious?
Yeah, the Melbourne Footy Club ran a special where you could get Tumpus, Mitch Clark, or Nathan Jones, and I went Tumpus.
Oh my God!
So I had number 5.
Shout out to Jimmy if you're listening.
So when track came in, I just said it was a track jumper.
Yeah,
because he was number 5. But I love the draft. I love the draft.
You do love the draft, and I personally love, again, my small knowledge base. I really like the work that Melbourne have done in this draft. We will start with what ended up being pick number 11 in Xavier Taylor. He's an interesting cat. So let's speak about the demeanour and the persona of this young man before we actually speak about his attributes on a footy field. He's a funny guy.
Yeah.
This kid, hey, has he got tickets on himself? Absolutely. The thing I actually really enjoyed was when he said, when we win a premiership.
Yeah.
He said that a few times in some of his media interviews. I love that winning mentality that clearly this kid has got. And he made a few jokes about how he was going to party and enjoy the moment. And then the other thing I loved is he's got a little devil tattoo as well. So he's already got the sticker of the devil, which is very exciting indeed as a Melbourne supporter. But the persona of the kid, you could look at it two ways. You could go, he's cocky, young whippersnapper, blah, 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 don't know about that. Or you could look at it the other way and go, no, he's very confident of himself, which is exactly what I think we need at the football club. And then the other thing for me now being quite old, like some people listening and watching will go, mate, shut up, you're only 36. But a lot of these kids now, Caden, you've probably seen it following the draft, a lot of these kids are very sure of themselves now.
100%. I don't know. Yeah, I think it comes from they grow up with access to the NBA and they grow up with access, like rap music would be the highest listened genre and like out of their age group, and like the flexing and being confident, backing yourself in, and it's pretty cool in the NBA to celebrate or like have celebrations up your sleeve and whatnot. I feel like that sort of shaped, I probably sound like an old person now talking like this, but I feel like that's shaped like this age group where they come in and they're not spoke when spoken to. They think they're playing round one, and they've got every right to now with the development that they've got. But yeah, I would say he is cocky, Xavier Taylor. Like it's more than confidence, but it's awesome. Like when he's in the red and blue, I love it.
You rub shoulders with him.
Yeah, well, I bailed him up for a pick down out the front of Marvel. He's a big boy, and
192.
Yeah. I reckon he's going to put on size pretty quickly as well. Like he almost has that frame that you just know will explode when he has a professional environment around him. But he dominated for the Eastern Rangers in their grand final. He got best on ground. Just a full competitor, has a will to win, and he was rated to go in the top 5. Yeah. So I'm not sure why he slips. Like it was a bit of you could throw a blanket over a few people between 5 and 12. And that's why it was sort of exciting on draft night. It was like, I think we're going to get someone rated in the top 5 or 6 at 11 just because you could scramble any of the names.
Yeah.
And it was Xavier Taylor who came to us. So I think we picked him because he was best available, but he's an elite interceptor. They say he plays like Josh Weddle. I'm getting sort of Maynard vibes off him, and I know we don't say that name around the traps of the Melbourne Footy Club, and maybe I'm wrong for that sort of comparison, but just the size. He can play on talls and smalls. I'm getting sort of Weddle / Maynard vibes off him.
Caden, you've said Jack Watts.
Yeah, not a great start.
Jimmy Tumpus.
Yeah.
You're now on Braden Maynard. You've had your 3.
Yeah.
No more.
Well, I mentioned that I had Track on the back, and that's the name we can't sort of speak about
the
anymore.
Quadruple.
Yeah.
Yeah, Track. Oh, God. Well, anyway, thanks for the picks, Track.
Yeah.
You got to look at it that way as well. So Taylor is a player for me, from what I've seen, takes the game on, which you love. Darcy Wilmot-esque as well, a little bit taller than him. The thing that I'm impressed with as well is just the attack on the pill from the highlights packages. Bit of mongrel bastard, which we're big on.
Jason Taylor kept saying he takes gaps. Xavier Taylor. And I'm like, I sort of can picture what that means, and that's sick.
Well, the thing as well, I come back to Stephen King's first press conference, and it's a motto that you and I are now running with.
I might get that tatted even though I don't have tats.
Yeah. So we're running with this, just you and I, as a friendship, and we're going, let's get after it. Because Stephen King kept saying, let's get after it. We really want to get after it. And what he's saying there in his first press conference for the football club was, we want to play some attacking footy.
Yep.
And the thing that was a massive gripe for me with Goody was it was laborious at times. It was a grind. And once people had figured out how to play through us, it was so easy for teams to score against Melbourne. And that's one thing that we need to tighten up on in 2026 and beyond under Stephen King. So there's got to be a balance as well with it. Like you can't always just go and let rip. You've got to have numbers behind the ball and make sure that you're in good shape. But Xav Taylor feels like the perfect player to get after it, to play that slingshot footy, to have a let's go, take the first option, let's get it up the field as quickly as possible, let's create those 3v3s, those 2v2s or those 3v2s and try and outscore the opponent, because as we know, transition footy is everything. So you look at him and you go, this is a pick that plays into, I think, the game plan that we're going to see under King.
Yeah, and I've complained before on this pod about how, as an entire squad, we look small. Like Jack Viney,
psycho though.
Psycho, but when we come up against like the Bulldogs, all their midfielders are just tall and big, and there's just, our forwards are 193. Opposition defenders are 200 centimetres. So it's like our forwards look smaller, our midfielders look smaller. What I like about Xavier Taylor is it adds a bit of, like, he'll play small, but he adds size. Like, I guess he will be a Judd McVie replacement, except he's going to be enormous on those small forwards. So great size, and they reckon he can go a bit of mid as well. So well, I would love to lock him just in that back line because he intercepts well, and Lever and May and whatnot. Disco, yeah. But
don't forget my boy.
Yeah, there'll be a bit of transition with some of the older boys in defence. So to sort of replace them with Xav is elite. But I don't know, just having the potential of of a mid as well there is exciting.
Tall mids. That would be Harvey Langford and Taylor as tall mids coming in there, which we know is modern footy. I'll throw one to you and then we'll go to Trelly. Mr. Pickett, of course, the cousin of Cozzy, who came into the football club with pick 12, which is a synonymous pick now. Pick 12. Cozzy drafted at 12. I think Cyril Rioli drafted at 12, which is eerie and beautiful at the same time. Our back six. So in 2 or 3 years' time, what does that back six look like, knowing that May's not there, Tom McDonald's not there? What is your preferred back six? I'll put you on the spot.
Lever's still there.
Yeah, I reckon. Just.
And we're saying Disco's a defender now?
Yep.
Well, Petty, Disco, Lever, Bowie, Andy Moniz Wakefield, and probably
not Taylor?
No, and probably Xavier Taylor.
Okay, so that's like your 7.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
You reckon that's it? Feels a bit tall to me. Feels a bit tall.
Bowie, Andy Moniz Wakefield's pretty small.
No Riven there, I've noticed.
No, I reckon he's a midfielder.
Okay. Yeah. There's a big debate on that. I think a lot of people still believe that his drive and his dare and his run and carry off halfback is really important to us. He's a great rebound defender as well.
Yeah, he's great and he's like he can mark as well. But I think Riv and Cozzy are going to stop us from getting smashed in the mid. Like imagine if we just trotted on out Windsor, Langford and Xavier Lindsay. I feel like that's how you can plummet to the bottom of the ladder, but having mature age, like Riv's played 120 games, Cozzy's played 120 games, knowing that them with Viney, with Jack Steele are going to be our midfield next year. I think that starting midfield, Gawn, Rivers, Pickett, Viney, is very serviceable.
I agree.
So, yeah, I think Riv's a mid now.
Nice.
In my opinion.
I like it. I tend to agree.
And let's stop flip-flopping him. Like, he's just been sort of in between positions for ages. So, and he's only done midfield for, like, blocks at a time. Like, let's just give him a season.
He ended up being half and half last year.
Yeah.
And it frustrated me a bit, but then I went back and looked at his numbers at one point during the season, and I was making this point on a podcast I did, some review after we'd lost another game towards the end of the year.
Probably by a kick.
Yeah, of course. And the big takeaway for me was he was performing really well as a rebound defender. Then you look at his numbers as a midfielder, and again, he was performing really, really well. So I agree with you. It's like, this is your set role. We're going to keep you here. I think the thing that we probably didn't prepare for was Andy Moniz Wakefield going down the preseason.
And Judd went down.
Yes.
And
that scuppered plans.
I reckon
Riv.
more. Even like Lever and May. And our backline got decimated throughout last year.
So I think it was just necessary. Like we had to, unfortunately, get him back behind the ball.
Yeah.
So I think you'll see a completely different mindset and shift now. I hope Stephen King goes, mate, you're in the middle full time. Latrelle Pickett, you can take the floor. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting. Like, it's very magical, it feels like.
Serendipitous almost.
He's gone the same pick as his cousin Cozzy.
Yeah.
And it feels like, just sort of reading between the lines of what Jace Taylor said on the Dees website, it felt like they know he can play footy.
Yeah.
It's like, tick, Latrelle Pickett can play footy, but it was more the application. So he's missed out on 2 drafts previously, and he was only playing, I think he played a bit of sandful footy this year, but he played a lot of reserves games. So he wasn't even like a mainstay in the sandful this season. But I to them, I don't think it matters. I think they already know he can play, and you put him in the right environment now that he has the application. He could be anything. So.
Definitely. Now, I will get to some social answers from the DeeBrief faithful, and a bit of a sneak peek. A lot of them are saying, oh, the only reason we've brought in Latrelle Pickett is to keep Cozzy happy. Where do you stand on that? I kind of refute that. I reckon that's hogwash, but what are your thoughts?
I don't reckon Jace Taylor would ever do that. Like, Jason Taylor has one of the great batting records with first-round draft picks. And
that was apt because the Ashes is on today.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I don't think he would tarnish his impeccable draft legacy by doing something like that. I think you know, I get a little bit worried because Lockie Dovison was around our pick and he's best mates with Xavier Taylor, so we could have brought 2 Eastern Rangers boys. And if we had a need for a small forward, you bring 2 best mates through at the same time. That was a bit of a no-brainer. But I backed Jace Taylor in, and I think, you know, Latrelle Pickett in an elite environment, I think his ceiling might be higher.
Yeah.
Well, I think it would be. So he's taller. He's sort of Fritter size, but has Pickett bloodlines. I'm getting like Liam Ryan type feels from him. He's a bit taller than just a small forward, but apparently he's super rapid, like really, really quick. And if Cozzie's going to be playing a lot more midfield, which I believe he will, like we've got a Pickett in the forward line and a Pickett in the midfield. That is ridiculous. That's a cheat code.
Yeah, it's exciting. I think there'll be quite a lot of pressure on him just purely because of the surname. And that's probably one thing that I hope the supporter base don't bestow upon Latrelle, or Trelly, as he likes to be known, because Cozzy is generational and we don't know what Latrelle's going to be. We don't have the crystal ball. But the reality is it's almost a stretch to expect him to be at the level or the potential of a Cozzy Pickett, because we're looking at a player along with Naughtsie, Wanganeen Malira as maybe one of the top 3 players in the comp over the next 3 to 4 years. That's how good Cozzy is and what his ceiling is. And, of course, he got his first All-Australian this year. So my big thing is let's not put all this unnecessary pressure on him.
Yeah, well, exactly. I'm just so excited. I think, well, when Cozzy came in, he showed glimpses early, but didn't put a full game together. Just showed little flashes of brilliance. But his one word was like the pressure and the tackling and the stuff inside 50. And then like in his second season, started to add some of the goal scoring to that. Then in his third season, started to add like little bursts into the midfield. So it's sort of been a 5-year process. You know, as I said before, because he's played 120 games to get to a point where he's All-Australian, we're going to have to give Latrelle 5 years if he's going to get anywhere near that mark. But if he doesn't, he should be a very consistent, reliable, dynamic small forward. And I think that's the expectation we should have on him is like, can he be, you know, a Cade Chandler? And I think Latrelle Pickett can be. Hopefully the ceiling is higher, but if not, we're going to have a very good small forward on our hands.
I like it. We'll move to Thomas Matthews, of course.
Well, if we're picking Cozzy's cousin to keep him happy, have we picked Thomas Matthews because he's best mates with Bailey Humphrey?
I know. You went straight there.
Is that 4D chess or is that
maybe? Well, Cal Toomey brought it up on the telecast last night. Look, I know this is genuine mail that Bailey Humphrey wanted to get to Melbourne.
You broke the story.
Well, I did break the story when they're walking
you
around the
Twitter
tent.
into a spin on the Friday afternoon.
It was bullshit though. Like people need to relax. Like it's just a photo.
I wasn't relaxed.
The carry-on was pretty funny.
No, I thought we were home.
Whatever. And I hit up the bloke and said, should I drop this? And then the boring story was I went to Lawn Anglers and had a pot with my father-in-law, and then I checked the phone an hour later.
I called you 15 times and you wouldn't pick up
because I was having a fucking beer.
You're having a beer at the pub.
Yeah, just enjoying some company with the father-in-law, who's a devout Sash fan, I must say.
Wow.
Because we've got the Sash boys here behind the scenes, and he loves the Essendon Football Club, the poor bastard. And he's getting on a bit, and he's like, I'll never see us win another final, will I? And I'm like, nah, mate. No chance. Also, these boys were cut. They wanted Latrelle, just to double back.
Well, we wanted Roby.
Yeah. Rob, you said you wanted Latrelle just for vibes.
Do we have like a belt bow?
Well, I mean, Rob said to me he wanted Latrelle. He wanted the vibes. He wanted the vibes at the hangar. So on Thomas Matthews, he was the captain of Gippsland Power, and by all reports in pre-season, because he unfortunately had a PCL and it derailed his campaign for the most part, they reckon he was out doing Dersma, and he was super exciting and in pre-season was the best trainer, blah, blah, blah. The kid's made of the right stuff, so I've heard a lot. Well, this is what I heard last night from a few people, that leadership capabilities are excellent, hence why he's skipper, of course. And then the other thing is you look at it and you go, well, if this kid's campaign got derailed by injury and we get him at a pick 30, would have he gone 10 to 15 or in that realm for a small forward, which is incredibly high when you think about it. So, again, is it another one that's fallen through just purely because people go, oh, he had an injury, I can't be bothered taking the punt on him? And he's 18, he'll get his body right.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the 4D chess point about Bailey Humphrey. Like, got to keep Bailey Humphrey because I'm still confident he'll land at the Melbourne Football Club in the next 1 to 2 years.
Well, that would be unbelievable. We've been linked to him before he even got drafted.
Exactly.
But yeah, little Tommy Matthews, he's got a bit of strut about him as well. He looks like a confident kid, apparently ultra competitive, loves his tackling. And I think Lindsay last year was the first Gippsland power person we'd ever drafted. And then Mentha as well came through with Lindsay. So we'd never gone for any Gippy boys. But now, I think our VFL coach was Gippsland's coach last year. And I don't know, we're starting to form a nice little partnership with Gippsland Power, which is awesome. But yeah, another small forward. So I don't mind it. That's a need that, we've needed. That's one of the worst sentences of all time, a need we've needed. But yeah, this is what happens when we do 10:30 a.m. pots.
Well, it's Friday as well.
Yeah.
Like we're washed up.
And the Ashes is on.
The Ashes is on.
It's coming on.
Is our attention really footy? Are we just doing this purely out of necessity?
To be honest, yeah.
Because people just want a podcast?
No.
Is that what we're doing?
I've been consuming a lot of draft content, so I'm still footy. I'm still footy at the moment. Yeah, Thomas Matthews, I like the strut of the kid. I think, he'll be good.
He will be good. Now, Kalani, today, time of recording, as we said before, it is the morning on Friday, the rookie draft this afternoon. Kalani White will be taken today. It will be official, which is super exciting for Jeff White and all of his family members. And I'm pumped as well. And you're someone that has been out and about with a big Kalani White fan club sign with the Marmalade Boys, and you've been DMing Kalani a little bit, and just seems like a really good kid, and super excited that he's finally into the system because it's been a long journey for him, and he had a big decision to make, and we've spoken to Jeff on this podcast about that, and he's chosen the red and blue, which has clearly gone down well with all the Melbourne supporters out there. If he'd chosen the orange or the yellow up there in Queensland, fuck, he almost cop a few boos, I reckon. Like in the future, if we ever played him, if he was wearing those colours. So well done, Kalani. You've definitely chosen the right path, but that's also super exciting for the footy club. Yeah,
it's sick. Kalani and I have gone back and forth for a few years just because we're both Dees nuffies. Like, he just messages me every now and again, and we chat about the results. So he's a massive Melbourne Footy Club, I'd say nuffy. Like, he's a massive Dees fan. And then obviously he was in the Australian Academy and played for the Allies. So he's come through the elite pathways. He is super athletic and super tall as well. He's got unbelievable attributes, but I just think it's going to take a little while for him. Like, and that's probably why we've taken him in the rookie draft. It's like Tom de Koning, I remember, took 3, 4, 5 years. And it might take that long with Kalani, but with that athletic profile, you get him in an elite environment. I don't know. I think I'm still bullish that he could have a future at AFL level, but we're not. Look, I don't believe we're going to see Kalani at AFL level for at least 24 months. But we've done that with people we've brought into the footy club. Like, there's been blokes that don't play senior footy for 2 years, and back in the day, with the Melbourne Footy Club, they would get chewed up and spat out. But now you play your 40 to 60 games at Casey before you even get a look. So that shouldn't be a surprise to anyone that he might take a bit of time.
I agree. We're going to go to the socials and see what people have written in, and then we'll start to wind it up, and the Sash boys can come in and talk about their beautiful football club. Yeah, awesome football club. Jack Steele. This is from Jack Steele. Not the actual Jack Steele. Unfortunately, Pickett will be one of the worst picks since Watts.
Deary me. Steely.
That's the first one.
Glass half full.
Thoughts? He's really Steely's a positive man.
What, as
Shout
for the
out to
Melbourne
Steely.
Footy Club or like just picks in general? There's bad picks every
I
year.
don't know. I can reply to Jack Steele.
Jason Taylor never misses. He never misses. I even think like the one miss that I think Jason Taylor has had recently is Jeffo. But I reckon Jeffo might show a bit in the next
Bailey
year.
Laurie. That's a miss. So far.
But that was in the 30s.
That's still a miss.
Maybe 20s.
Now we've got a few others. A lot of people saying, where's Kalani? Where's Kalani? We've just spoken about that, so don't worry, guys. Kalani will be here. This one is from Abe. Low expectations for 2026, but I'm so excited about the future given our kids and the culture, and particularly the reset that we've done with Paul Guerra, Brad Green at the forefront of that, of course, Stephen Smith coming in as president, Stephen King, the new coach, Jared Rivers coming in as an assistant and a fan favourite.
I like that touch.
Back in the day, it's a great touch as well. Nathan Jones staying on as assistant coach as well. And as to Abe's point, getting rid of Petrarca and Oliver and blokes that aren't really buying into this new wave and what the Melbourne Football Club can be in the future. I agree. This is the right approach. It feels relieving knowing that it is a clean slate. I really like that Stephen King put the team up on the board on his first day and it was just a blank team. And he's
was funny as.
Yeah, and he's reaffirming. He said, joke.
He's like, that's a gag, guys. And
yeah, which is great. But he's reaffirming to everyone, I'm coming in, there are no favourites. And that was a bugbear of mine and many Melbourne supporters with Simon Goodwin. It just felt like there were certain players that could never, ever be dropped. So if it is a genuine clean slate, I think that's a beautiful thing. And I'm stoked about how many kids we've got there that look like they have high ceilings.
Well, we've got 60 games into a lot of players while we've still been trying to contend. So I don't know whether we're going to completely crash out and hit the bottom. I'm sort of like weirdly optimistic that we might win more games than last year, finish similarly on the ladder. Like maybe we finish 12th. You know, it's a slight improvement, but it's a similar season. But because the expectations are off and we've got young players playing and it's Kingy's first season and you're alive if you finish 10th. So it's like if you finish 12th, we might be alive in the season all the way through till the last round or so. I feel like we might just have one of the funnest sort of free hit years, despite not really moving on a ladder perspective.
10th.
10th would be that would be so much fun.
10th.
Rolling in.
It's
Elimination
10th.
final.
It's 10th. I'm going to say it every single pod from this moment onwards, and I've been saying it in the WhatsApp threads. We're 10th.
Well, when we lost Clarion Track, I thought to myself, because I thought Kingy coming in, because we weren't far away last year. So I thought Kingy coming in, a new look, new game plan, we might bob up to the 8. When we lost Clarion Track, I'm like, oh, well, that's a long way back. I don't think we'll make the 8 anymore. So when they changed it to the 10, I was like, it's not out of the realms for us to finish 10th.
10th.
You win those games we lost by kick last year, you know, we're in the 10.
We're 10th. We're 10th. Who would you want to play in 7th? Who would you want to play and knock off?
Saints at the G.
Oh, and knock them off after all the hype?
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
That'd be fun.
I love that.
But
I'm into that.
I'm bullish because we felt top heavy for a long time. I'm bullish that the balance is going to be better. The balance across the board, because we'd play teams with lesser midfields, but they'd spread better, they'd run better, and we'd get rolled. And I'd look at the AFL app and compare the starting 22s or whatever, and I'd be like, our midfield on paper should be demolishing them. But in the modern game, the spread and the run, we just get found out. So I'm bullish that you take a couple names out, but implement players who can run and spread. We might look like a better team next year.
10th. I'm going to continue to say it. Troy Hamilton, just a few more. First impressions are we've drafted some razzle dazzle. Couldn't agree more. That's what we've gone out and we've gotten in this draft. And to my point earlier, these players that have come in might end up being the embodiment of the way that Stephen King wants to play. He wants to let rip and play some really attractive footy, which has not been the brand for Melbourne or wasn't the brand for Melbourne under Goody. The only time we were ever razzle-dazzle and playing free-flowing footy was the back end of 2023. If you remember that, we were putting up big scores. Harry Petty kicked 6 one day. against the Tigers. We were conceding and we were going, oh, we're happy to concede an extra 20 points, but we're going to put up 100-plus points every game. It's the only time I've ever seen or I ever saw Melbourne like that. We saw a bit of that in 2018.
Yeah, I was going to say 2017 when we'd kick over the back and Jeff Garlett would walk it in.
We saw a bit of that as well in 18 and 17 and then, as I said, back end of 2023. But for the most part, it was like, we're going to put you in a choker hold and
I frothed.
This is different.
Yeah, I frothed the chokehold just because, we
won't be doing it now, I don't think.
But we were still pretty good defensively last year. I think we were the top 6 here.
Nah,
we weren't.
I'll have to go and dig that
up. I'm not a big stats guy, so I don't know why I've tried to wield that one out.
You're more the vibes.
I think we were okay defensively.
Well, go and have a look.
Better than average, I would say.
Better than average.
But we just couldn't score.
Maybe 10th.
Like we just 10th, but we just couldn't score. So I'm hoping that we can keep that contest and defense philosophy, but add 15 points a game on our scoring, and we're going to win a lot of games if we do that. I don't want to go to the footy next year and win. Well, I'd love to win, but I don't want teams kicking 100 against us every week, and we have to kick more than that. I hope we can, still hold on to that philosophy of being a good defensive team, because ultimately, if we're going to win a flag with Kingy in the next 5 years, we're going to have to keep that as a part of our DNA.
So these are the teams that conceded more points than us: the Eagles, Richmond, North Melbourne, Essendon, Port Adelaide, St Kilda. That's your list done. So we weren't that crash hot.
Yeah, right.
I think we're 12th or 13th.
Yeah, Jesus. That's not cutting the mustard.
That's all right. That's absolutely fine. Mate, we're going to wrap. But before we wrap, if you're watching on YouTube, behind me, my left-hand shoulder, you will see the absolute superstar. That is Kate Hoare. She is an absolute gun. And her performance in the final last week against Adelaide was unbelievable. The girls have a big task on their hands against North Melbourne. North Melbourne are all conquering. They are such a well-drilled outfit. They are the benchmark that everyone wants to get up to. And I hope as a competition for the AFLW's sake, every team gets to that level.
Yep.
Imagine if we took them down. Imagine.
I know. I keep thinking about it. It'd be one of the biggest upsets of all time.
Yep.
I don't know that. I think from a personnel standpoint, there's some gaps in our team. Like, it doesn't feel like the all-conquering team that was making grand finals a couple of years ago. We got a couple of young players in, and there's just a couple of positions on the ground where, I don't know, we're not at the level I think. But the spirit that our team plays with, and they've had a great culture for years, but the spirit and how connected they are, I don't know.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I agree. So, and the experience as well. They play finals all the time.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Couple of good ins as well.
Some really good ins. Yep. I can potentially see a world.
That would, whoever wins this will win the flag.
Well, Chaplin and Zanka coming back in is huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge. Pivotal. Two massive inclusions for the outfit. So anyway, you never know. I love Mixed in here. Just as a side note, I reckon Mixed just an absolute ripper. Love seeing his emotion on the sidelines on the weekend. So good luck to the girls. It's a Herculean task.
Yeah,
it's massive.
It doesn't get much bigger than that.
Yeah, but you never know. And in a weird way, I know this is a bit of a throwaway comment, and people like to say this at times, and sometimes it doesn't actually have the merit that it sounds like, but it is a free hit.
Yeah.
It's a free hit.
Well, they missed the 8 last year, and then they got back in this year.
But it's North Melbourne. Like, everyone's
and
expecting
we're younger.
North
We got
to win.
We've had a bit of transition of the list across the last 18 months as well. Moved a few players on, like Lily Mithen and whatnot, blooded a few players as well. So for them to make a prelim, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah, geez.
You never know.
I'm going to be there.
I would love to be there. I've got a housewarming. My sister and brother-in-law. So disappointed. I would love to be there.
I wish it was the night game.
Yeah, I would love to be there. But I will be watching on the phone while having a couple of beers at a housewarming and praying and hoping that the girls can get the job done. So we'll see. We will see. Mate, thank you for coming in. Thanks for the coffee.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Beautiful coffee. Give them a shout out. Proud Mary in Collingwood. They do a very good job. Just
awesome.
around the corner from the studio. But mate, it's been a pleasure. You are the draft guru, the self-appointed draft guru, and good luck with all your content.
Thank you, mate.
And go Dees, mate, and we'll be chatting more as the preseason builds up.